I stand up, I get up, mapedo moya shona kona. Shobuluza focus, come on, be a go-getter. Ashona kona, stay focused. Opportunities, you gotta grab this, you gotta fight with skills.
Thank you, Mekluna. You look polished yourself.
I know, what's up. It's already to one between marketing and advertising.
Yes, of course, I can't wait to let our hustlers brand production.
I know how to drill it. And hit the studio because you know it's about that time. Press up, push up, and I'm going in. Sanbunan babugel be SABC 1 from Busimunye Goya Mampela now kumzansi for sure. Yona gintandokazi yenu SABC 1. Talk about brand placement. The brand name is Macmillan Shumo. The product is iSpani bafethu. Uma ke lapha ekhawuqonsa sibaketha uqinisile ngoba mhlanje sibheka imarketing bafethu. Samba ne-Hustler yena uPhilo Khoza. Insizwa ke yona ifuna ukubhekana ne-experiential marketing ngamehlo bafethu. Ngoba ke insizwa ithi khona la iqale khona bafethu beyilapha na ke i-project manager for events company yayo. Yaphina futhi asebenzela ama-promotion companies akhona la eGoli. So ngenimema nonke to this massive event ebizwa ngokuthi iSpani. So let go. Name Philo Khoza. Age 23. Education matric. Tertiary qualification. Currently studying marketing management at UNISA. Former work experience. Promotions for various marketing companies part-time. Position applied for brand production manager.
Ngizalwe nge-13 zaka June 1991 eTzanini Lethaba Hospital. Ngimuvele eParkmore Sandton in 1993. No mama beyasebenza khona le eSandton.
Umama akaqeda ukuzala uPhilo because when I pass matric at Tzaneen, I have to babysit uPhilo until 2 years. Because my mother was ukuthi eze noPhilo emsebenzini before atshela belungu bakhe. And umama kabuya December wathi kimi because fana ukuthi esikolweni next year uzohamba nani niyohlala nami umlungu wami uzowithotha uthi nganiletha ngize nani.
And then mina khula it wasn't really easy ngoba my mom worked as a domestic worker in Sandton, and then obviously the funds were not the same as other people, and bengakhona ukuyenza izinye izinto lezi abanye abantwana bebayenza. So she gave me the best though. I attended schools that most people couldn't attend. Benginephupho lokuba successful, so I had to make a choice to either work hard, sebenza, or play, and I choose ukuthatha indlela yenye yokufunda ngiqeda isikolo and make my family proud. The family, I've got 6 siblings. I've got 2 brothers and 4 sisters. I'm the last born, and yeah. Really growing up, I really actually grew up alone because the rest were still in Limpopo. I'm schooling there. But eventually they all started coming to Joburg one by one. My sister moved into her own place, but I still had connection with them.
After 2005, when my mother decided to retire because it was not working all right, their businesses, they were not doing all right. Zoe, back at Durban. Philo, I have to take Philo and my younger brother Vusi to live with them, to also make sure that we educate them, me and my husband Tempikosi.
I had to move to Midrand, and then I started school in Midrand High. St. David was costly, and when we like 4 and we were 8 o'clock because of transport and sports. So we decided to go Midrand High. My subjects in high school it was maths, English, accounting, history, business studies. My subject not choosing over. I've always wanted to be a businessman, and I'm just business minded and then creative, and I've always wanted to own my own entertainment company.
You know the way I'm a Philo approached my neighbor here that no, I can wash cars. And that time Philo was doing grade 8 or 9. I can wash cars for you guys. They said, yes, you can wash your car so that you can get a pocket money. He was a clever boy from 2 years old. You could see that.
In 2008, esikoleni babayenza ama Valentine's Ball, ama high school party, nama fashion show. I started helping them out to organize my event. That's where I started liking events. Grade 10, Midrand High. It was after school, basically, and then we heard noise in the hall, and then and then we got inside, and then the teacher asked me to go get a few things and or come back and give it to her, and then bang tuma yonkindao. And then from there I actually developed the love for organizing, and from there I started organizing a metric dance. I helped out Uktolama venue, and then I Mr. and Miss Midrand High, and for the first time in I think 10 years, the event was successful because it was there were more people than they expected. And then from there they just called me uzoyenza wonke my event leskolweni. Even till this day bangibiza ukuthi ngizobasiza ngama event.
You know the way angakhona lezinto azenzayo, you organize ama businesses, doing this, masahlelo uyenza lokho, I'm arranging a party, I'm doing this. Ngathi Philo, how do you get contact with those people? Athi ngiyazenzela mina.
Bangibizile kusasa ukuthi ngizoyenza interview for a internship for a production manager off limits. For me, Nale, internship, it means a lot because I'm excited. I like growing as a person, and for me, it's a stepping stone to my dreams. It's for me, it's a door opening. It's a door I've been wanting to open in a long time.
Interview le Philo waya kuyo kusasa. Ngimfisela inhlanhla ukuthi aphumelela ephambili. And ngiyazi ukuthi Philo, you will make it. You will get it.
And that's how you kick unemployment to the curb. Njengoba uFhilo akickstart career yakhe ngokuyidayisa laphana njenge brand production manager khona laphana off limit communications. Kithi we are the best channel in the world. Lokho ke uyibabaza ngoba siyababa.
So Philo, first of all, just from our side, thanks very much for showing interest in Off Limits and putting forward your CV as part of your internship. Just before we go any further, what sort of information or knowledge do you have about what we do here at Off Limit?
Well, I know that you guys organize events, you make sure that brands are marketed properly, and yeah.
Okay, so that's just a little bit about the job description, but I think you're deviating away from my initial question. And my initial question is what is it that you know about Off Limits? What sort of research or background? You know, have you been onto our website to go and have a look at the type of stuff that we do? what sort of knowledge do you have on us?
Okay, I've been on the website, and from the minute you open the site, you can see that it's actually a creative agency, and that they push their brands out properly, and they actually look at life and brands in a different way from other agencies, and that they actually give opportunities to young people to actually express and grow as people.
So, having a look at our website, what would you say, in your opinion, because I'm sure you would have gone for, you would have applied for other internships at various other agencies. What would you say, in your opinion, sets Off Limit apart from the rest of the so-called experiential agencies out there?
Well, basically with Off Limit, I saw that it actually speaks to me, and I can actually relate to it with what I'm actually currently doing, which is events, and it actually takes me to higher levels. There's no limit at Off Limit, so
Don't you know?
yeah, there's no limit. So basically with me, I've got hunger to learn and to grow. So I think Off Limit is the right place, and that's why I actually came for the interview.
Okay, cool. I think we can go back to that a little bit later, but just to give you a sort of broad overview of what we do, we're not your conventional promotional experiential agency. What sets us apart is that we have a very strong strategic division as well as a very strong creative team. You're obviously applying for an internship, so have you worked on any other sort of smaller type activations in your time? How much do you know about the eventing and activation space, so to speak?
Well, basically I've been doing events by myself and my partners for 3 years. We've been hosting club events, picnics, fun walks.
Great. So just on that, what's the biggest sort of attendance or crowd that you've pulled to an event or to a nightclub? What sort of budgets have you been working with?
Okay, our budget is normally around 10,000 Rand.
Okay.
And that's for everything from venue, flyers.
Are you relying on sponsorships?
No, this is money that we're taking out of our own pockets.
Hosting these events in established nightclubs, or you creating your own type platforms where they are at a football field or at a stadium or the like of that?
Well, mostly we do it in clubs. Okay. And we'll actually speak to the owner, and we mostly make our money just from the entrance money, and actually save that money and use it to push ourselves bigger. And
great. So you and the business that you got formed is like an entrepreneurial type status that you got, which is good, because at Off Limit we definitely look for those type of people, and always looking for the next gap in the market. Always have to stay one step ahead of what your competitors are doing. It's not an industry for sissies, and I have to. Well, I'm sure Belle will just tell you that up front, and we have to be open and honest with the people that apply for internships and jobs here. Is that you can work anything from a 14 to an 18-hour day sometimes, just because of the workload that you have and the deadlines that you have to meet. In no way am I trying to scare you. No. But that's the reality. And that's sometimes what you're dealing with, and it's not like that every week. But yes, sometimes you have to put in hours.
How do you manage pressure, Philo?
Basically, I don't just give up and crack when there's pressure. I actually just look back to where I might have lost it and work from there.
What's the most difficult position? I mean, you've talked a little bit about doing events and things like that. So have you ever been in a position where you weren't sure how you were going to come out on top, how you were going to deal with a challenge? What was that challenge, and how did you deal with it? Okay, well, basically my hardest part, I think, was getting my event out there and people knowing that it's my event and friends coming to support. They know that there's an entry fee, but they get to the door and they basically say, I know Philo, so I need to come in for free. And in business, there are no friends. Your bottom line. Yeah, so I had to make a choice to either be that friend and lose money, or
actually show them that this is business.
Okay, good. I think that's it from me.
Yeah, I think that's it. We're going to send you out, Philo, to meet your mentor, Kevin. He's our business unit director. He's going to give you some guidance. There's a lot you can learn from him, so make sure you're paying attention. Okay.
Good. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care. Cool.
Mahaslase, tjeka ha re iponetse ho bohlokwa hore pele o ya ko interview o tsebe taba tsa hao, tseba ka ha company e tswa kae, e ya kae, ene hape e compete le bomang, ene ho baneng le wena o batla ho isebeletsa. Tseo ke dikarabo tse le hore o tlameha ho bana le tsona pele o ya ko interview. Mohiri wa hao ha tlameha go di fosa go dintsha ko wena je ka ha re bone ko Philo. Ene hape ba Hustlers ha o hlalosetsa mohiri wa hao hore ho bane ho batla mosebeletsa bontsha kgahlego, bontsha lethabo, o supe maikemisetso. Ka mora papatso Philo o ile gore bontsha re ana experiential learning ke eng. Asagalele kuSpani because that's that new hangout. Uyazi like I said sikhombisa amacareer ahlukile bafethu ukuthi asebenza kanjani. Ngithi namhlanje we are turn up. Njoba ke singena lapha na 1000% sikhombisa experiential marketing ngisho nayo ibrand production management isebenza kanjani. Samba ke nayo ihustler lethu uPhilo Khoza. Insizwa ethi ukumarketa kusegazini layo. Njoba ke ifuna ukulola lapha na internship nayo ke i-off limit communication. Njoba ke afuna ukuba ibrand production manager bafethu. Ake sibone ukuthi kahle kahle lo msebenzi about what? Sifuna ukwazi ndoda. Sifuna ukwazi.
Manyendi kakhulu emagama lafuna siwanake. Kuba mabona kutse, emaredweni, emaphepheni, kanye ke nakubo social media. Yonke nje inkampani lekhona ibonakala shengathi ineligama thite lelingashintsha impilo tethu. Sonke ke sinalesiwathandzako nje emagama, lamanye ke siwatela ebunvaneni. Njengebathengi, siyakhona ukudikhethela kakhulu kunakuqala, futhi ke lokho kungabanga ukuthi size sidideke. Kwenda futhi sifuna ukuthenga lowo mkhicito, tinkampani kumele tichamuke netindlela letinsha letingakavami. Lokuthi asenda siuve engadini lowo mkhicito labawusithengisela wona. Umfanekiso wetekukhangisa ngokanye lohamba embili emkhankasweni leminyenti leyendiwe. Lokhu futhi kwashintsha nendlela tinkampani letithengisa ngayo imikhicito yato. Ngekwenda njalo, lokhu kukhangisa kwenda ukuthi singawukhohlwa lowo mkhangiso futhi sitivele silithanda nalelo gama lemkhicito wabo. Kuqinisekisa ukuthi uma uthenga esitolo senda tinqumo letitojabulisa wonke umuntu. Sitfola lesikufunako sibe sade ukuthi lo mkhicito utowenda lokhu lesithenjiswe kona nalelo gama likhule futhi libe impumelelo.
Sebetsa lefapheng lena o hloka senior certificate ya exemption for degree, for diploma o hloka senior certificate fela. Dilemo tsona 1 to 4 years ko university for degree ya hao kapa 1 to 3 years for diploma ko FET. Ha ile di subject dipalo di bohlokwa. Di subject tse ding tse le gore di ka go tswela tema e ka ba economics, business economics le yona accounting. Ngisusikhathi ukuthi manje uFhilo asitshengisa ukuthi uze ngani nothando lakhe le brand production lingakanani ngoba uthi uyashisa kulamalanga.
Right, Philo, are you ready to get started?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so your first task is really crucial. Okay. It's going to set the tone for everything else you do first today. You can't really work on a brand unless you understand what it's about.
Okay.
And that means in depth. There's every chance you're going to be dealing with clients on the ground. They can see you at work, so they have to know that you are confident in managing their brand and portraying it from every single angle.
Okay.
As you know, the brand we're giving you to work on in this challenge is one of our biggest. It's a great youth brand, so I think it'll be a nice fit for you, but I need to see that you understand what the brand is about.
Okay.
In order to make that happen, I'm going to be giving you a few brief documents. We've set you up with a laptop here. You can go through them. It'll give you a little bit of background and insight on the brand. But then I need you to go beyond that. This is a huge international brand that's been doing fantastic work all over the world. I need you to go online and do some research, especially in the space of the hip-hop world, which is the focus of the campaign called Uncontainable, which you'll be working on. And I need you to put together a 500-word report for me that demonstrates your understanding of the brand, so that once I've gone through that, I can either correct you if you're not on target, or I can help you make sure that you truly understand what this brand is all about.
Okay, normally, I the business plan before hosting my events or planning my events. And this is done because you basically need to have an outlook on and an outline on your event and kind of basically have the idea of how your event is going to go. So with my event, it's not really the same as these ones because the budget is not the same, and basically the whole purpose of the event is not the same as the one I was doing now. So basically with my event, it's just a matter of target market. And with this one, it's actually broader because it's also the image and the outlook of the whole project.
How much experience do you have of hip-hop?
I actually have a lot because I organize events, and in those events I need to cater for everyone. So I gotta make sure that there's house DJs, electric DJs, and hip-hop. Because in South Africa, the hip-hop scene is actually growing and it's actually getting bigger. So people are actually enjoying hip-hop more.
Well, it's great to hear that you've got some background in hip-hop, because that's probably going to help you on this task. This particular campaign that you're going to be working on is very much rooted in the hip-hop space. We're speaking to young adults like yourself, so I want you to stay brave and make sure that you're using your own knowledge of the hip-hop scene and bringing it to bear on the work you do. We want to be relevant. We want to make sure that we're connecting with youths in this space. So it's not just about taking what you see on paper and repeating it out there in the world. It's about staying really authentic. We want to make sure that people have a real brand experience with us. And if you can bring authenticity to the table from a hip-hop perspective, that's going to be a huge asset to you, not just on this task, but in potentially working with Off Limit. We deal with a lot of youth brands, and that kind of experience is the kind that money can't buy. In terms of coming on board in the production manager space, which is what we're considering Philo for, it is a very challenging position. He's put in a place where he has to be logistically strong. Attention to detail is huge. You can't leave the checklists, the level of checklists that are going to enter his life are going to scare him. But you absolutely can't overlook a single detail in execution, so that's crucial. But then also that level of brand custodianship, so that when you're on the ground executing, if anything is out of brand voice or not executed in the way that speaks to what our client is trying to achieve, you need to pick that up immediately. So you need to be as strong on the logistical side as you are in terms of the real brand deliverables.
Basically, working for Off Limits would actually help me in terms of seeing that it's actually a big world and there's a lot of things to learn and how things are really done. And I'll actually get to network with bigger people and the right people and learn on how to negotiate and maybe even push the brand better and learn more skills. I want to learn how to communicate and actually get the message out to people and let the people hear it. So basically it's about sending out a message once or just a few times and letting people actually keep that message for a long time and actually pass it on to other people.
What we do here is far more varied. If you come to me thinking you're just going to work on the brand that you feel is cool, you're going to be in serious trouble. We do have a lot of that. We have young people who see us working in the contemporary young adult space. They see us working on hip hop or street culture kind of brands, and they pitch up thinking, great, I'll come to Off Limits and that's what I'll work on. It's not to say that you won't get to work on those brands, but if the only value you add to my team is your youth culture knowledge, you will be in trouble in the long term. If brand is your career, you have to have a passion for brand and brand story.
Bafethu uFilo ube nenhlanhla kakhulu kulena ke. Hayi ukuthi wonke ama brand azofuna into oyithandayo noma ke oyiunderstandayo. Kodwa mina ngithi hayi bebekubuza ukuthi bathi xhuma ithi how high.
It was really good to see Philo's approach in terms of making sure that he wasn't just looking at the brand. He was looking at the target markets, he was looking at what kind of drives them and how to make sure we're speaking to their target markets in an authentic manner. When you work in experiential, that's always crucial because you're asking people to give you the time of day. And unless you're talking to them in an authentic manner, they're unlikely to do so.
In the document, basically I broke down hip-hop on its own and basically the fundamentals of hip-hop and what hip-hop really is, but in short, and also the target market and the varieties of hip-hop. Basically, it's not only in music, it's also in speech and in dance and movement and art.
Philo o supa a tseba di-technicalities tsa mosebetsi e leng dilo tse e leng gore o ithutetse tsona ko sekolong a pheta a di apply mosebetsing wa hae wa di-events mahustlers go ba lefapeng lena o lokela go rata tsa kgwebo o lokela go batla go solve mathata a batho se ka o thusang gore o phumelle lefapeng la marketing go gore o utlwisise ditlhokwa tsa batho le gore di-solution tse o ba rekisetsang tsona di ka ba thusa yang ka mora papatso Philo o ya ko fielding Mac le ena o gutla le iSpani queue ya rona.
Emsebenzini ilazo sithola khona kodwa ngaphambi sobona ukuthi umjitha uqhuba kanjani awuthi ngihlambe ngombuzo wethu okuSpani bafethu kule viki lapha kuSpani Q ohamba kanje. Tula's mother has 3 children, April, May and what is the name of the third child? Uma ke wena uyazi impendulo sihlabe ngomchafazo khona lapha ku Twitter ku @iSpani on SABC1 bese uthi #iSpani with a capital Q bese ke ufaka eyakho impendulo. Ake sibone umjitha ukuthi uzokwazi ukunandisa khona lapha off limit communications njengoba ke bazoshaya activation ye brand enkulu angathola sekasentweni. Ngithi my brother, go big or go broke.
I actually grew up in Cape Town. I actually studied sports management and I wanted to be a sports agent. One component of the degree was event management, and as soon as I started doing that I got really excited and more involved in it. I saw a massive growth potential in Johannesburg, so I decided to move here and complete my studies. I've worked on event management for about 15 years now, starting with the Joyous Celebration when I used to work setting up those crews. I started at a small events company as an intern and slowly grew as strength in the production elements of that. After that I moved to Off Limits where I joined as a senior production manager. I was recently promoted to business unit director in charge of all the Coke brands. How's it, Philo?
How's it?
I'm Kevin from Off Limit Communication.
Nice to meet you.
Business unit director here. I'm in charge of the activation today.
Okay.
So basically what we're doing is we've got uncontainable event today at Wits University.
Okay.
Basically we're holding a series of auditions for the hip hop campaign. That could be anyone from MC, dance, rappers, or the public who can express their truth.
Okay.
So what you're going to be in charge of today is ensuring that all the brand ambassadors are dressed in the right uniform. The uniforms are clean. So your job purely is going to be to make sure that all the promoters, or brand ambassadors as they're sometimes known as well, are on point, bubbly, energetic, understand their booths and representing the brand efficiently.
Okay.
They are cleanly shaven, bubbly and energetic. It's really important that they are. They need to engage with consumers, bring them into the activation, and understand their booths and what their responsibility is today. Cool. So you're going to have to make sure, because obviously you're dealing with some teenagers here, so they sometimes get distracted, and sometimes they'll be on their phone, and that's completely not on. Okay, we need them to be engaging consumers 24 while they're here. That's what they're here for.
Okay, cool, no problem.
Okay, so the next part of this task is to brief all of the promoters.
Okay.
You're going to need to brief them on each zone. You need to make sure that they understand what they're going to be doing, how they're going to be talking to the consumer. It's critical to any brand to, when they're doing brand activations, to ensure that everything looks slick and clean. Otherwise, you can potentially damage the brand's opinion within consumers.
Good day, guys. I'll be in charge of you guys today. Just a few things we need to get out the way. You guys need to look clean and you, my man, sorry. Can you just put that beanie on properly? Okay, I'm just gonna check your guys' uniform because you guys have to look on point, eh? Okay, can you just fix the belt here? Just put it in. Okay, oh, yeah. Can you just take that hat off and get a branded cap, please? Okay, you guys today, you guys are the face of the brand. So you guys are the brand, you guys represent the brand. So if you guys look sloppy, the brand looks sloppy. So I'm gonna need you guys to be on your best behavior and top performance, eh? So basically what's gonna happen is, you guys are gonna be dealing with teenagers, and so obviously you guys have to be energetic, and you guys know how teenagers are and you know what moves them. So basically over there, the first booth is the registration. They need to register in order to go to the other booths. And next to the registration is the tasting or sampling booth. So whoever's gonna be at that booth, just make sure you guys serve them cold branded drinks. And the second booth, which is on the far right, is the MC and the poetry booth. And whoever's gonna be there, just make sure you're there at all time. So basically people get to rap or MC for a couple of minutes. I think it's 1 minute. Then the next booth is the dance booth, where they actually get to dance and whatnot. Then the fourth and final one is the basketball challenge. Whoever's gonna be there will have a timer and a whistle, and they'll get a certain time to actually give a shot at the basketball.
Okay, so I think Philo did very well. He picked up a couple of things that sometimes is difficult to see. For example, one of the brand ambassadors had the wrong cap on, but due to his peak being so high, we probably would have only spotted that later. I think some areas he could work on, and that will come with time, is just speaking a little louder, with more confidence and rallying his troops. But obviously he'll gauge that the more and more he does this.
Ka godimo ha se Philo a se entseng, clear communication le go etela pele go botlhokwa. Philo o na tlameha go ba hlalosetsa hore hobaneng ba le moo, mosebetsi wa bona ke eng, ene hape mosebetsi o ba ile go etsa yang. Ha a qeta o na tlameha go ba nea nako, ba botse dipotso go netefatsa hore kaofela ba ya utlwisisana le gore tsohle di ka tlase ga taelo. Wena dula o kgothetse fela yalo le rona, ha re khutla Philo o etsa task ya hae ya bofelo, Meke o khutla le iSpani queue ya rona.
Beats na jukebox ngokudansa ila ke uFilo akhona bafethu njoba insizwa ifuna ukubump ifike esilingini njenge brand production manager bafethu insizwa ke lapha na ke sithemba ukuthi iphuzu zizobanda bafethu bese ke umculo ushise. And yes, I was wearing headphones the whole entire link. Did you hear me? Because I didn't.
Hey Philo, I just wanted to introduce you to Nomti. She's pretty much my right hand. She's going to give you a quick briefing of what's further expected of you today.
Hi Philo.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. So Philo, today what we're here at WITS to do, we're trying to search for uncontainable talent for all these entries. We're looking for graffiti, dancers, rappers, as well as NBA basketball skills challenge. We're going to be doing that. So we're looking for ballers as well. So I'm going to need a promoter at the registration table. That's the first point of contact for the entire activation. We need to encourage students to register there first before interacting with the activation space.
Oh.
You really have to be quite sharp today.
Okay.
Okay, good luck.
Cool. I'd have to say that pretty much 99% of the project actually happens in the pre-planning phase. This can take us up to 6 months to develop. Well, multiple things can go wrong. If you haven't spent your time planning correctly, you could arrive at the activation and you could have not ordered ice, you could not have ordered the correct branding. The truck may not be allowed to come in. You might need JOC or city council approval that you haven't thought of, and your whole activation could be shut down or fail to meet the client's requirements based on that.
Sorry, Kev, can you get another promoter over there to speed up the registration? Because it's kind of taking a while. How's it, man? I hope the drinks are all cold.
Yeah,
no, not yet.
Not yet.
Definitely cold, eh?
Yeah, I remember you can't serve them hot drinks, eh?
Yeah, of course not, man.
You wouldn't drink a hot drink. Can I just feel one? Okay, it needs to, hey. Yeah. Guess I'll have to get my hands dirty. Okay, so did he take you through what you must do? You understand? All right, cool. So I'm just gonna make sure he has a timer, and then he'll just. We're missing promoters. Are you doing the entry forms?
No.
Must I put the entry forms here?
Yeah, you can.
So I have to walk around.
Yeah,
don't they leave them over there?
No. Just put them like that, and then as soon as, and then as soon as you put their times, you can put the next sheet on top of this one.
Okay, so this is basically they pass around the whole course.
Yeah.
To encourage people to actually.
Dance, no?
Yeah, and actually, because people just get there and like sit.
Yeah, but I need to the music. People can't dance without music, and the varsity, it's gonna fight now because they called to, So I think we're gonna pump it up at like lunchtime. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with the different stations, a lot of people actually been, taking it seriously and actually showing us their real talent. There are a lot of rappers, there are a lot of rappers, and they're actually producing quite good material in the MC booths. What you can do is, since he'll handle that, you can just get these people into 2 lines and just explain what's happening, because like most of them get here and they like don't understand what's happening.
Okay, yeah.
So just make sure that these people, by the time they get here, they know what's happening. So signing up is quicker because they get here and then they still have to explain what's happening. Yeah. Well, so far today, Kevin's been helping me. I've been running up and down, going to Kevin and asking him what should I do there, and all in all, it's actually fun, At first I thought it was going to be hectic, but it's actually fun and hectic at the same time, but we're both communicating properly, and I've taken a lot of information from Kevin, which has actually made my day easier, and all in all, I'm having fun and everyone's having fun.
Yeah, the activation's going really well. We've got a heap load of students coming through and sampling the product, understanding what the activation's all about. I think as far as Philo's performance goes, he's done a great job. He's been marshalling his troops. He's been coming straight to me with any problems, reporting it straight away. I really like him because he thinks quick on his feet and he understands the brand.
Philo bafethu ihasela isitanga namhlanje eligqugquzela ngempela bafethu umjitha wenza izinto zenzeke empilweni yakhe ulaphana ke uyayimaketha njengoba ke afune i-internship kodwa ngaphambi sibambe yena ke ngiyazi sinonke lapha emakhaya nifuna ukwazi impendulo yombuzo wethu okule viki lapha kuSpani Q sithe Thula's mother has 3 children April, May and what is the name of the 3rd child? Okay, nginibonile nalanda amakhalenda, navula amafoni. Cha bakithi akusujuni. Kodwa bafethu isithula. Obvious bafethu, Alright bafethu siqhubele phambili sibone ukuthi umjitha ke masibuya emva kwekhefu uzoba nalo ke ikusasa kule nkampani afuna ukuyisebenzela. Phinde futhi sihlangane sisipula ke ozabaphendula imibuzo yini lapha ku social media. Kodwa manje awuthi ngithule and go for a break.
Hi, Kev. It's Belle. How are you? Good, thanks. I hope you guys had a good day in the field. Most excellent. Can I ask a favor? Can you spare a second just to quickly give me feedback on how Philo did this morning? Okay, cool. So what, good, bad, and ugly? Go. Made it to the end, I see. Okay, Philo, unfortunately Garen's called away. It's the nature of our business, so he's straight into the next piece. So I've taken some time though. I've gotten his feedback and Kevin's, and I just want to let you know how we found you've done on the tasks we've given you in terms of this internship, and what we'd like to do moving forward. So first up, what about today did you find the most unexpected?
Well, having to be at so many places at once. Well, basically, I thought it was just mentally, but you also have to be physically fit for this because you need to attend to a lot of problems at one time.
We weren't joking about the pressure, were we?
No, you weren't.
But you don't think you handled it okay?
Yeah, I actually did.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. It's one of the crucial parts of the job.
Thank you.
First up, let's start with the positives. I got some great feedback back from Kevin in terms of your attention to detail on the ground, in terms of making sure that you really were checking all the little details, making sure you were covering the things you needed to with the promoters. He felt like you did a really good job there. Where you're going to have to grow for us, it is something that comes with time, we understand that, is when you're working with a team of promoters like that, you really have to come to the page with authority. It's kind of one of those, sometimes it's a bit of fake it till you make it, because on day one it's going to feel strange to you, but the sooner those promoters working with you can feel like you really are in charge and they're answerable to you, the better they're going to deliver in their tasks. So that's somewhere where we feel you've definitely got some growth to come, but I think that is something that does inevitably come with time. For my part, on the task I gave you, I think there we feel like you seem to have a strong grasp of a lot of what eventing entails, but you need to grow in the brand space. And that again is going to be a long-term goal. It's something you're going to have to grow with us. So that's definitely something that I think there's the passion for it, which is important. And now we need to underline that passion with real hard brand knowledge. I would challenge you to really make sure you're reading brand literature, make sure you're looking at other executions. What are other agencies doing for what brands and why does it work? You talked a lot about the kind of work we did appealing to you. You need to start looking at what is it that the brand's doing that appeals to you, because that's what you're going to try and replicate. Okay, so really do the research, do the legwork, read the hard stuff, because the events is not just the fun bits. And I think outside of that, my team said to me, you were definitely an asset on the ground rather than a hindrance. And that's always great to hear. We like to have a team we can rely on because we get curveballs all the time. So well done. And thank you very much for your time. I think that we've discussed it on our end, and we run these internships in the first half of the year precisely because we tend to have a lot of activations in the back end of the year, lots of experiential happening in the summer months. So we're definitely going to keep you in mind. That's when we call in our project managers, and that's when you're really going to get tested. So I'd encourage you to work on these elements that I've highlighted for you in the interim, so that when we do call, we see the next version of Philo, and you keep growing, because I think you've got a lot of potential.
Well, that's the end of my day, and it's been a great day. And I'm happy that Belinda's actually going to call me back, and I'm actually really looking forward to that. And that's it. Pressa, pusha, panda.
Well done, Philo. Mahasla how le mo captain wa bolo, how Emil ni fela wa shebella, le wena o kena ka lebaleng wa bapala. At the same time, wa netefatsa dilo kaofela di tshwarane le gore di sebetsa ka tlasa taelo. Ke ka go re boneng Philo a le matasatasa. Philo yena o ipuletse ya hae tsela. Come summer launch o tla be a bitswa go tla sebetsa. Philo o supile gore a ka o etsa mosebetsi ona. Ha nako e ntse e ya, o tla ithuta go relaxa, to take command, a supe gore dilo kaofela di ka tlase ga taelo. One of our hustler o le gore career ha le yena e ka tlase ga taelo ke Smanga. Smanga o botsa gore ana phapang keng mahare ga marketing le branding. Smanga, marketing ke ha o nka product kapa service ya hao o isa ko market go ba ruta ka yona gore ba kgone go e reka. Branding yona ke se product kapa service ya hao e se emelang. Ke ha o nka melaetsa go tswa ko marketing go thusa go beakanya product ya hao. Hustlers, go bolang go checkela website ya rona, go fumana go ngata ka di-college, di-short courses le di-bursary tsa lefapha lena.
Na congratulate him. Na congratulate. Zamba kanjalo ke izinto lefana ku marketing production bafethu. Sithi umjitha okhulumile kwazwakala. Siyabona ukuthi le career ngempela iyomfanela. Wena lapha ekhaya ke osafuna umsebenzi, osazimaketha. Incisi ukuthi uhlangana nathi kuviki ezayo. Njengoba siyabe simkhombisa ukuthi i-system engineering ngisho nayo ke i-traffic control zihlangana kanjani to make a fly career. But until then, catch us on the fly lapha ku Twitter, go @iSpani on SABC1, @iSpani on SABC1. Noma ngosivakashela lapha ku Facebook yethu and click on like okhulumi la sikhona da. Kodwa mafuna uthola imininingwane about career namhlanje, uyazi iwebsite yethu ikhona ku www.ispani.co.za. But ithi ukutshela, when opportunity knocks, ungathi rounder, open the door. Remember, pressa, pusha, panda. Ungaphela umoya, faka umoya. Remember, don't look down, look up and stay up. I'm out.